Good day, everybody. I picked up this Electro uh, D-612T battery simulator for radio repair from a state auction. This thing is older than me. I've already taken a look around inside, so I'll pop the lid. And here are the guts of the power supply. These had me confused. I had never seen a selenium rectifier before, and it's got 4 of them. But they'll be replaced with a bridge rectifier, new version, tiny, so takes up less space. This inductor here is apparently an 8 microhenry inductor. I'll put a link in the description of where I'm finding some of this information. But this is actually rated for intermittent 20 amps and continuous use 10 amps. Here is the transformer with an external swiper over here. So what it does is, when it's in this position, this is one of the sides of the power, this is the other side, and in this position it would have essentially 0 volts because you're basically shorting right across all the secondary. And as you turn it, get into this position, then you would have the full set of windings on the secondary, and you could get it up to 16 volts. There is a fair amount of wear on this side. Now the cute thing was, and I didn't know this until I had this thing taken apart, was from here to here is 0.2 of an ohm. From here to here is 0.2 of an ohm. From here to there is 6.8 K. And they've got a resistor in there. Now, here's the diagram. These are the capacitors that were in it. They obviously added an extra one to boost it a bit. And being radio type people, it's one of those capacitors that has multiple capacitors inside it. Let me see if I can get the bottom of this thing. There we go. So there's a 200, a 200, and a 75 microfarad capacitors. And a 25. So there's actually 4 capacitors in here, which they chained all into this one. I'll be replacing it with 10,000 microfarad capacitor that I bought in mailbag 17. So I'll get to it, and the first thing I'm going to do is remove the selenium diodes, and then I'm going to wire in the power cord and also the rectifier. So I just wanted to verify the diode. So I've got 1 hooked up to here, 2 hooked up to here. It is indicating it is a diode and that this is the anode. Okay, I'll take out this last one. And 1 spudger. And hit the camera. Okay. Notched. I find out what that's made out of. I'll use brass. Oops. There we go. So I've reconnected all the screws, put everything back in, and now it's time to do the wiring. And if you're using a grommet, remember to put it on before you start wiring. Much easier that way. Okay, the AC is all hooked up. Comes in, hot goes to the fuse holder, comes back out, around to the switch, from the switch to the transformer, and from the transformer back to the neutral. And of course, I will clean that up and secure everything. So now it's a matter of dropping this in there and hooking up the AC side, and then hooking up the DC side, which is, that's the negative, and that is the positive. And just as a reminder, the notch on this type is, this is a plus, this is a negative, opposite sides, and the AC are the other two. And the 4 wires are now attached to the bridge. So all I've got left to do is stick the capacitor on. And of course later bolt everything down. So after reassembling everything, though not final, turning this on, it does have a max around 20, so you're not supposed to run it there. So output goes up to 16 volts. This is off a tiny bit. There's been a bit of hacking on this. And 2.77 amps, not even close to being accurate. And the voltage part doesn't even work. So let's see. If I take this now, flip it onto the 0 to 8. Not exactly too accurate. But yeah, that doesn't work. And that barely works. So, the guy said it worked. He didn't say the gauges worked. Oh well. So much for this one.